great podcast of Wonder Women. Today I have a good friend of mine, Samantha Murphy. She is the founder of 305 Hive Media. And I would like to introduce you to her. She's done wonderful things for me and my company. And Samantha, thank you for being here with me today.
Good morning. Thank you
for having me. I know this was last minute. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
For coming in. You know how much I appreciate you and Rosie and your beautiful 305 Hive Media. I think we have that in common. We love bees.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, there's a long time coming.
It's a long time
companies together.
Yes, yes. And I wanted to talk a little bit about you and what you're doing and the great work you're starting to do, bringing more awareness to a specific cause. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you from Miami?
I'm from Trinidad. I moved here when I was 11 years old, so like 10 years ago. No. A long time ago. And I'm married to my husband, John, and I have 2 kids, Lindsay and Sean. Lindsay.
I met them. They're beautiful. Yeah, I have a beautiful family.
She's in college, and my son it's actually his 18th birthday today.
Happy birthday, Sean. Happy birthday.
And he's applying to college, so big,
oh my God,
time around the house.
Teresa's applying to colleges too, and oh my God, it's so much work.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Are you going to be empty nesters?
Yes.
So am I.
Empty nesters.
I'm kind of worried about that.
We have to do a whole other podcast about being an empty nester.
Yes, we should. We should, because it's a big process, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me a little bit of your beautiful company, 305 Hive Media.
Yeah, so 305 Hive Media, well, as you know, you're one of my favorite clients.
Thank you.
305 Hive Media is really Miami's most connected community. And that's what we're all about. And the way that we do that is we have multi-pronged marketing. So we have our website, we have our robust social media. We have a lot of fun on there. You were speaking about Rosie. Rosie and I have a lot of fun on the social media.
Rosie's the one that writes the articles regarding wine.
Yes. And our main thing is our weekly newsletter. That comes to your inbox. It's free to sign up every Thursday. And then we do also special editions throughout the year. Like right now we have our holiday happenings coming up on Tuesday, and inside is our gift guide. And those are very popular. We do a lot with schools and camps and health and wellness. We have a big health and wellness event coming up.
We participated
in January.
Once.
Yes. And we had one time at yours.
Yes, we did.
SFR.
Yes, we did.
And this year it's going to be at the Thesis on January 28th. We just, that was the other point I was going to say was our events. And we do a monthly book club. The next one coming up is at 305 Wines. And then the one following that will be in January. We usually skip December and 1 month in August.
Okay.
And those are smaller events, obviously, around 20 people. We like to do between 15 and 24, depending on the venue. And that's a smaller, more intimate way to connect with each other and our audience. And then our other 3 big signature events, we just had our Wild About Miami event, which you was there. And I'm like, you're dressed for Wild About Miami today.
I should have worn this one too. I had a hard time picking what I was going to wear.
Well, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
And then we have the health and wellness, which I mentioned. And then in March, we have our Women's History Month tea.
Oh, yes. That I missed. That was... Oh my God, I bought the ticket, you know that. And then I something happened to my calendar and I didn't show up and I felt terrible. But this year
you can come
this
March.
Year, yes. The next year I'll be there for sure.
So those are big signature, events. So we're always busy. We're always buzzing around the Hive.
I think that's one of the things I love, that you always say you're buzzing, and you always hear the buzzing in the background with your Insta and I really love the bee. So I imagine you have a connection to the bee like I do.
Yes, yeah.
Well, how did you come up with the name 305 Hive?
Well, I just actually was just brainstorming over and over, and I follow my gut a lot, and I had come up with a few names, and one of them was Miami Grapevine, and I was sort of moving forward with that, and then I'm like, it's just not, it's not feeling right. And I just, and I had asked a bunch of friends. I made spreadsheets to do it. That's what I do. I made a bunch of spreadsheets and trying to figure it out. But really one day, I was like, okay, what at the core, what is it that I want to be, right? And number one was 305. And it wouldn't Miami or 305. I really wanted to be about our city. I'm very passionate about our city. And then, it wasn't really about the B. It was more about connection. I was like, what are other ways to talk about community and connection and being together? And then I was like, 305, and then I was like Hive, and it rhymes, and it fits together, and it just like the minute I thought of it, I was like, that's it. And I connected with it, and I sent it around to some friends because that's what I do. But at that point, I didn't care what they said almost. I was like, this is it. Like, no, this is, and that's how you kind of know sometimes if you're trying to decide between two things and you ask a friend and then you think, oh, if they come back and they say they don't like this idea and you start to defend that idea, then you already know, like, that's the one. So, that's how I came up with it. And it's, we just celebrated our 6-year anniversary in October.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Doesn't it go fast?
It goes very fast.
It goes really, really fast. When I think of us being in business for 18 years, I'm like, where did the 18 years go for SFR? It was so quick. And I look back and you look at all the steps that you do, right? And then you're always changing. So I imagine with 305 Hive, since you started to where you are today, has changed enormously. It has grown.
Yes.
You have a huge community of women
a beautiful community
that support you.
Yeah.
And all these events, they're all meaningful events, putting all businesses together, especially women businesses that are trying to succeed in Miami.
Yes,
you're giving awareness to them, which is wonderful.
Yeah, and we're trying to highlight some favorite things that, about our city and women. It's not only for women, but about women, but yes, and what we love.
Our health.
Yeah, health. And then we do a lot with charities. We do a lot with philanthropy. Like in our newsletter, we have a classified section, which most of the things it's free to post and people can put there, I'm collecting, for backpack drive or this or that. So we're very proud of supporting the community in that way. We have a monthly history with the Hive where we try to bring in a little bit of history about Miami. And then so nice. We have the Keep the 305 Clean and Green, which we do
environmental.
Yes, and actually today is our newsletter day. Today happens to be a Thursday, and so this morning we have our Keep the 305 Clean and Green, which is about the mangroves, why they're so important to Miami, and we're also spotlighting a buzzworthy local, which we do from time to time, and he's actually working on cleaning up the mangroves. So we're highlighting, that's one of the things that we're highlighting this week.
I saw on the news regarding the mangroves, they're like planting little seedlings all around them so that we won't lose the mangroves, correct?
Yes, they're very important too.
Extremely important. Yeah. And it started by one man. He plants them and he keeps trying to bring more awareness to the
so it's important to highlight all these wonderful things, about our city. And then one thing that's important to know about 305 Hive Media is that there's no news and no politics. So we like to keep everything happy and positive. And there's many other people doing a great job of the news and politics. So we leave that to them.
Right. I understand that I understand that personally because you're bringing more awareness to things that may have not gotten enough awareness, but are very dear to a lot of women and a lot of people that want to know more about what's going on in their community. So I know you just recently went to a wonderful event, Voices for Kids?
Voices for Children.
For children.
Yes, that's we were a sponsor of that event. It's one of my favorite events. Katie Black is the director of that, and she's one of my dear friends. And she, I almost cry when I think of her. This is like the most perfect role, ever for her. She takes care of really, the most vulnerable children in Miami. The ones in foster care.
Foster care.
And so this event is their superhero luncheon that we were just at, and you can dress as a superhero. And of course, I dressed as a bee.
Of course.
And then some people are like, that's not a hero, but there is a superhero called Bumblebee. So it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm like, when I can show up in a bee
There's a lot of
costume, I'm going to show up in a bee
You're a queen bee. That's a hero.
Oh, that's so sweet. But they did a beautiful job, and that was another great community
It's a
event.
very beautiful event. And I know a lot of people attended to that event.
It was sold out.
Yeah, I recently learned about it. I didn't know too much about it.
Oh, you'll have to come next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I know you like a costume too. So
I love a
see.
costume and I love a cause.
Yeah. Well, you could be a bee with me.
Yes, we'll be
For a
bees
believer.
together. So I know you're very active in your community. You have a great group of friends.
I do.
As we know, Rosie's a good friend of yours and a good friend of mine.
Yeah, so Rosie works with us, and first of all, she's a friend first, and she is hysterical. She writes
She's
funny articles for us.
Such a happy person.
Yes, and she's also our sales and client coordinator. And I know you've had her on before.
Yes, I had her on. She has a beautiful cause as well that she helps with Miami Children's House, my Nicholas Children's.
Camp Watts, yeah.
Camp Watts. And that's a long, very close to her heart because of what her family went through. And so I know you're going through some times right now, and you've made your issue, your what you're going through, you became active and you made it, instead of bringing you down, you've made it a purpose. And I as soon as I found out, when I heard that you were going to say something, I got so worried. I called Rosie right away. Is Samantha okay? And Rosie was, you'll hear it. And when you said it, I want to tell you that I admire you a lot. It takes a lot of courage to do what you have just done. So please share with me what you're going through right now and the foundation that you opened that is, I know, very dear to you and your family.
Yeah, so I'm losing my vision. I'm going blind. I have what's called Usher syndrome, and it is genetic, and it causes retinitis pigmentosa. People can have retinitis pigmentosa and not necessarily have Usher syndrome, but Usher syndrome causes deafness, blindness, and balance issues. I'm very fortunate so far not to have deafness, but I do have some balance issues that are pretty good under control, and I am losing my vision. And the way that it works is your periphery goes, so it basically does this very slowly over time. I was born with it, and it's genetic, and my brother has it also. He is legally blind. He has very little vision left, and we have a sister, and she does not have it. So the way that it works is both parents have to be a carrier, and then each pregnancy has a 1 in 4 chance of having it. So my brother and I both do. We found out about my brother 30 years ago, and I only found out this at the end of this January. Interesting, right after we did the health and wellness event.
Wow.
That was, I think, on a Wednesday, and on that Friday I had my appointment at Baskin Palmer, and that's when I found out. I went there knowing something was wrong with me. Unfortunately, it's a longer story for another day, but my ophthalmologist, I had been asking him for 20 years since I said my number about 30 years. We found out at 30 when he 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So for 20 years, I've been asking my ophthalmologist, "Are you sure you don't have it? Please check me." To the point where I almost felt embarrassed every time I would go in and ask.
Okay.
And they kept insisting that I didn't. And so the way vision works, and the way actually your mind works with a lot of things, is it compensates for you. So I see the way I see. I don't have a full understanding of the way you see, so I don't know what's missing. So until it becomes a lot worse, you don't realize that it's happening to you. And like I said, I'm born with it. So slowly the vision is closing and closing and closing, and I'm having, but your brain is adjusting. So it's not like there's blackness around your visual field narrows.
Right.
And you don't realize it.
Not wide range.
That it's correct.
More narrow?
Yes. And it's like a circle. So from the top. So
it goes from the top.
But when I found out, there was almost like a little part of me, like a very small part of me, there's a little bit of relief about it too, because I was like, oh, well, this makes sense. And like, you know, I would always wonder, why do I always walk with my head down? And I would be like, pick your head up, you're getting a hunchback, you know. And now I understand I have to, because that's like, I don't see the floor the same way you do. I have to look down, so I'm always looking for tripping hazards to protect myself. And so my brain has been adjusting this whole time, not realizing that I had this syndrome. And so when I didn't get the answers from my ophthalmologist, he told me at the end, he sent me for, even though he sees my brother, he knows about the syndrome. I was specifically asking, I was complaining about a lot of things like night vision problems, some color blindness, which I now know is not true color blindness. It's to do with like lighting.
Okay.
And just several things. I'd say, oh, someone, you know, people putting their hand out to shake my hand, and I don't see the hand sometimes.
Right,
and then I would see your eyes, right. And then I would realize that you're looking down, so like, why isn't she putting out her hand? And then so like social cues, I picked up on social cues, and I would shake the hand, and you know, I was tripping on some stuff, and he told me I might have a brain tumor, a tumor on my optic nerve, so they sent me for an MRI, and then he told me that I was psychosomatic, that I was so worried about my brother that that
happens to women so much when they go to a doctor. And I think that's something that we need to discuss more. Mm-hmm. A lot of doctors always think women are just depressed, or it's always in their mind. Mm-hmm. And they're really not listening to the symptoms.
Correct.
They just they're just looking as like, it happened to me once as well. I'm like, no, you're wrong. I know something's wrong with me.
Correct. And I am a person who I would have said to you, I advocate for myself. I advocated for myself every time I went in there, and I said, something is wrong with me. Do I have Usher syndrome? Do I have retinitis pigmentosa? And if he had given any indication that there was a slight change, he goes, if you had it, I would know. You do not have it. I almost felt stupid for asking. But so what I would say to you is, beyond the advocate for yourself, is I let his confidence and his position of authority override my gut instinct. So I was advocating for myself, but I trusted him at the same time. So that was my mistake. So I took too long to go and find out for myself if I had it. And he could have very easily put two and two together, but I think it's arrogance. Because you're supposed to be able to see this with someone's eyes dilated, by the way. People want to know, could I have it? Your optometrist or ophthalmologist should be able to find this when you're dilated at a regular visit. So the fact that he didn't, and given that I was complaining and everything, something should have said, I'm not seeing it, but she has this. She has the familial history. Let me just send her to somebody else. And he didn't
and do the symptoms.
That, or let me give her the genetic test.
Right.
He didn't do those things. So he failed me,
I'm so sorry.
In that. And that's
my
message
a lot
to people.
To women.
Yeah. If you don't, even if it's a wonderfully well-respected doctor, don't let it override if you know something's going on with you.
If anything, I've learned being a woman, being a mother, right, is that we always know our gut.
Yeah.
As soon as you have that first baby, I don't know, that gut just turns on like this. And when the baby doesn't feel well, the baby doesn't feel well. It's like the baby's not telling you that it doesn't feel, but your gut says something's wrong.
Correct.
And I think that's one of the most wonderful things, one of the wonderful things that women have. It's a great quality that we have. Our gut, it tells us exactly how we feel. And it's very sad that you went through that, because your gut was telling you that. And I
would say to my brother, he would say, I'm experiencing this. And I'd say, I'm not trying to put myself in your shoes, but I know how you feel in a way, because I'm like, this happens to me and this happens to me. Right. And poor thing, he was Googling, like, what could I have? And he thought, maybe because I have a thyroid issue. So he said, this could be from your thyroid that you're experiencing some vision loss. And, of course, all along I had Usher syndrome.
So when they told you the diagnosis, I imagine you concurred with a genetic testing, I imagine.
Well, they knew I did the genetic testing just as a
precaution
backup.
Okay.
They already knew when I went in, and they did the same eye exam that they did with my ophthalmologist. They knew right away that I had it, and especially then my brother goes there, and they knew the history. They were like, "You have it," pretty much. So they did the genetic test, but that's just, they already knew.
They already knew.
And that's why all of these things happening to me is part of why I decided to start Blindish in Miami.
That's where I want to go.
Because, I'm very conscious of the fact that I have a platform in 305 Hive Media.
You do.
And I use my voice to help people all the time. And this time, this is a cause that's very close to me. My son is actually... for 2 years is his service project. He's done a project called Bouldering for Blindness. And so we've worked a lot with the Miami Lighthouse for the Blind. So this is not something new in our family because of my brother. Right. But I realized that, I wanted to help people. And even if it's telling someone, and not necessarily about their vision, but telling someone, trust your instinct and don't let someone else's, experience or judgment override
your instinct.
That. But also... and going to all these appointments and everything, people don't know about Usher syndrome. It's rare.
Right.
And even some doctors don't know about it. People that are blind and might have it, like I'm sitting in a waiting room and, we always talk, what do you have? And what do you have?
Right.
And people will say, well, I have retinitis pigmentosa. And I'll say, oh, were you ever checked for Usher syndrome? And they say, what is that?
And they don't know.
So I'm sitting with someone who may have this and might not know. So, and I thought, even if I can help a few people, I want to lend that voice. And of course, I didn't want, 305 Hive to become all about that and people have questions. So I created a separate, website and Instagram account and everything called Blindish in Miami. And I have a foundation at the Coral Gables Community Foundation if people want to donate. And 100% of it goes to research.
And do you feel that Miami, with the center of the eye center we have, what is it called?
Baskin Palmer.
Yeah. Do you think we have a good place to start this and get better at, or I don't know?
So I see Dr. Lamb, who is...
Because I know, according to what I understand, we're very lucky. We have even an urgent care for...
Correct.
An emergency for eyes.
Yes.
In Miami.
Yes, we're very blessed to have...
We're very blessed.
A world-renowned, place like... the Baskin Palmer, and also, Dr. Lamb is one of the leading doctors for retinitis pigmentosa that I see, and there's a lot of studies going on out there. But still, Baskin Palmer could use a little work on the patient side, and I'd like to, work with them if they wanted to, because you find out. Well, you go in and they tell you are going blind, and then you're sort of like, well, what do I do now? And I happen to know about Usher syndrome, what it is, because of my brother. And I had done research on that. And so I came in knowing about retinitis pigmentosa and about Usher syndrome, but people don't know. And there's no pamphlet or anything. So it's sort of like, I'll see you in 6 months. And then you're just left with this feeling of,
what's next?
What
next?
Do I do? So even if there was like a brochure or something that says like, here's best practices for eye health, everyone should be wearing sunglasses at all times. Please do that.
That's true.
Yeah, blue light blocking.
I was just going to say
glasses for your screens. Yes. And I actually just got blue light blocking for my phone.
Very important.
Because even though I had the glasses, sometimes you look at your phone without you glance at it. You're looking at the time. So now I have the screen protector on my phone that has the blue light blocking. So very basic things that people can do. Like I play tennis when you're playing a sport. Yeah, not just for the sun, but wearing protective goggles. Even if you play a game at night, you can wear clear lenses, protective goggles to protect your eyes, because the ball could hit you and then you could have like a retinal detachment or something. So just some general eye health things would be very, very helpful to people, but they help so many people and do really, really wonderful work.
Which I understand so much what you're going through, because with liver health is the same thing. There's no pamphlet. There's no support group, right? And when people are going through liver disease. So it is so important that for a cause, there should be some type of pamphlet or support group that could guide you to know what the steps are. Even if it's the most simplest thing, like a diet, you know, diet, nutrition, protection, even some symptoms that you may not think you have, or maybe you do have. Any little notes that could help you.
No one should have to turn to Google as their first line of defense. So,
Right.
like,
That's
for example,
good. That's good advice.
I've worked with the Usher Syndrome Coalition and the Usher Syndrome Society. And so they're specifically there for people with Usher syndrome. So even if it was like, check out these 2 websites, and then you can get more information. Right. And there's blog posts and things
that are backed up.
Correct. And so it gives you a good starting point.
That's great.
Rather than ChatGPT, what I do love, but
I understand perfectly what you're saying. But I want to talk about something beautiful that some friends did for you. I know you love tennis.
I do.
And in your moment of the hardest moment, they surprised you.
Yeah.
And I think my husband and I, we talked about it in the Global Liver Institute, when your friends surprise you, when you're going through the hardest moment of your life, right? Tell me about what those wonderful women did for you.
So when I first found out, I didn't want to tell anybody. I told my family and 2 friends, and that was it. And I thought, first of all, I needed to figure it out on my own. I'm still grieving. There's like micro grieving as you go along. It's not like you lose your vision in one day. You lose things slowly, and things are taken away from you, your realizations of things. So one of my first thoughts was, oh my gosh, what about my tennis? I'm a little bit obsessed
with tennis.
With my tennis. And I had to quit my night team because I couldn't really see at night. And, when I finally told the public, I wrote that in my blog post, and then I told my friends, I was like, I don't know if any of you would still want to play with me, because I'm on 2 teams, and tennis is very competitive. So it's not like just a friendly. I know they would want to play me being a friendly, but it's a little bit different when you go into a match and then you're like, oh my gosh, my partner is losing their vision. So it affects you being able to win, right, a match potentially. So I was really worried about that, and they knew that, and they threw an event for me. It was a surprise. I was told I was coming to play like just a little friendly foursome, and I walked in there, and
surprise,
all my friends were there. They were wearing bee antenna, and they had like little gifts, and they had like a donation QR code. And we raised, I think, like $2,400.
Congratulations.
Through that event, which was really nice. So we played
and that
tennis.
was all out of love.
I was all out of love. Like, I honestly, I really do have the best friends. I don't know how I got so lucky.
Well, because you're a great person. Great people have great friends.
Thank you.
What is your goal with blindness?
Well, so I would obviously like to advocate.
In Miami, blindness in Miami.
I would like to bring awareness, because people don't know about Usher syndrome.
Right.
So, and I was like with 305 a sense of community. Maybe if I would like to obviously continue working with the Lighthouse for the Blind, because they're doing really great work. But that's more so for people. For the services and all of that and the day-to-day. And I will, I was supporting them as a sponsor, and now I will be a client myself. So I have to go in at some point and get the blindness training and my cane and all of that. So I'd like to keep working with them, but I would like to advocate for people in general. I'd like to advocate for the blind, and I'd like to spread awareness that blindness is a spectrum. It is really important for people to know that. It's very difficult to understand, because people they hear blind and they think you're either sighted or blind. It's not binary. There's an entire spectrum of what blindness looks like, and it's different for everyone. Mine closes in like this. There's some people who have like dots in the middle of their eyes, and they can only see the periphery. So they're the opposite. There are people who, 93% of blind people have some sort of vision or light that they can see. So, and everybody's different. So it's very confusing to people. I just did a post yesterday about something I saw on Instagram. There was a woman walking across the street. Somebody filmed her walking. She walked with her cane. Then she folded up her cane and she took out her phone and she got on her phone. and the audio was like, oh, and like, and they were saying like, oh, and she's scamming. Look at this woman. She's a scammer. Like, and they assume she must be scamming the system in some way and pretending that she's blind. And no one's pretending that they're blind, first of all. But
Of course not.
as a person with low vision, I totally understand what's happening. She doesn't probably, I don't know what she had, but she doesn't have peripheral vision, needs her cane to cross, but has some sort of vision. She can still see her phone, like my brother. Like my brother does it. So it's very common if you understand
Look at that.
blind people. And if you don't, if you think you're either blind or not, it's very confusing to people. So I want people to understand. And like for me, I can see way better in the day than I can at night, or like crowded rooms are more difficult for me than certain things. So
You're educated.
yes, you have to educate. You have to go into
Educate.
it, understanding
The importance of education regarding different diseases. And so people don't assume and bring negativity.
Correct.
Because once you bring negativity, it just changes the view of everything, you know, and we have to bring positivity to all different types of illnesses.
and understanding.
And instead of judging, right? I think you're doing a wonderful cause, Sam. I am so proud of you. Every time I look at your Instagram, every time I say how courageous you are. And I'm proud to say that you're my friend.
Thank you.
And that I know you. And you made an issue a purpose. And it's hard, but you're doing it.
It's hard.
And
It's
it
hard
says
to let
it
everybody
says a lot about you.
in, but I know, and I knew when I started this, because obviously I have a media company and I know all about Instagram and the social media and that how cruel people can be. But I also knew I couldn't let that deter me, because just helping a few people is worth it. It's worth
You're going to help a lot of people.
putting yourself out there, and and then it's an outlet for me also.
You've helped a lot of people already. You're going to help a lot of more people. And you're helping yourself and your family as well.
I hope so.
So thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
I love you, Sam.
I love
Thank you so much.
Love you, my friend.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned a little bit today about Usher syndrome. And follow Sam, 305 Hive Media, and
Blindness in Miami.
Blindness in Miami. Please join her in her journey. Help her cause. It's a very important cause to help our community have more awareness. So have a beautiful day. She is a prime example of not giving up and having hope every day in her life. So like I finish on my shows every time, keep hoping.